Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 345th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Cremond, and I'll be your host today. And we will be hosting members of the Universal Council and support members who will be presenting today's program once again, this weekly series of broadcasts. And let's get into it and begin.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, Rick, for be here and always support with your hosting. Thank you so much. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Stefania, and I'm a representative the Italian language for the Universal Council. And I'm going to do the introduction today. So thank you so much to be here with us today in our weekly appointment. Once again, we're gonna go through the wishes from the Universal Council, the Universal Council supporter, and the Soul Connection. And we're gonna talk about also the 556 workshop. And we're gonna also go into the transmutation, talk about the transmutation. The 556 workshop was the public workshop of last week, where we have the honor to have Mr. Keshe teaching us for free. So you're always welcome to trace back the teaching. If you didn't see it, you can always go back and see them. And if you want to ask any question to Mr. Keshe directly, you can come and join live the workshop, and you can raise your hands and you can make your question directly. In this way, everyone has a direct contact with Mr. Keshe to get the true knowledge out. And the last workshop was about this, about spreading the real knowledge of how the universe works. Was very, very interesting workshop. Once again, it gives a lot of information to really help us to understand why we're here and what it's all about. He talked about the macro and the micro. He make like a good explanation how the fields work. He talked about the Big Bang. He talked about the transmutation. He talked about explain the process of creation. He talked about the human body and make a good example for us to understand how the human body work, that it's the same how the universe work. Really to help us to understand the true knowledge, because also he talks that up to now there are a lot of confusion in the knowledge. There are a lot of stuff that it's not true, that it's misguiding us, and this information that it's not correct. It doesn't allow us to have the full picture of what's really is all about. So in this workshop, he explained, he goes step by step for us to have a better understanding of what it's all about. And he talked about also for I'm sure all of you are interested. He talks about why we don't die and what does it mean to live forever. And really also explain the importance of giving, why we're here. And he also go into the human body again, talk about the lymph and compare the lymph with the space between the galaxy. So it's very, very interesting. There are a lot of knowledge in the last workshop. So what else to say? It talks also about the end of the hilliness, why once we once we understand the true knowledge, there are not going to be any more people being sick or any illness. That's why it's very important for us to study, reading over and over, take deep as much as we can this information so we can pass it on. And by pass it on, we can reach this everlasting life and this end of all this sickness that should not be here in the first place. It talks also about the psychosomatic, what it really is. And then we go into the pause. After a pause, a very short pause, he will start to explain about the new product that coming up from the Keshe Foundation. Very, very interesting product. If you have a chance and you got money to buy them, I really recommend them because they really help you and will support you on understanding the transmutation, how it need to be done. So you talk about this Twinity product. At the moment, the product coming in a pair, in twins. And this last new product, this new development, it's can target, everyone can use it. But if you got migraines or if you got lack of sleep, these are very good products for you to test and to report back for the research. So don't forget that when you buy this product, you supporting the Keshe Foundation to stay independent, and also you support all of us to have a better understanding of how technology works. And then you will be able to pass it on, and we we can learn much faster. So then he will talk also about that there are new people that will join the foundation and will help the foundation to get known from the media, because he's talking about Fox News being really we've been banned since 2012. So the public we cannot reach the public, but these things they're gonna change soon. So there are people in the ground they're gonna help us for the Keshe Foundation to be able to pass the knowledge even to the general public. So then we're gonna go into a very, very interesting question. So don't miss out the second part, because the second part, we got a lot of lovely questions from a knowledge secret called Dimitris. He asked about how can we become, if he can explain how we become invisible, how we can relocate in, if people are interested or want to learn, how we can be able to become invisible, or how can we relocate, when we hear a story of people being two places at the same time. Mr. Keshe does very good explanation on that. I really don't miss. It's really, really nice. And then he's gonna explain also what happened when we die. So it's very, very interesting. If you want to know what's gonna happen next, I really recommend you to go into the second part. Then we got more very interesting question. So we got more question where Mr. Keshe is going to explain about how the fields work and how the soul of the man stays unchanged through, doesn't matter in this life or wherever we're going to go next in the universe. He will explain how we are, the central energy fields stays unchanged. And the connection that we have between all the soul and, or you can call them the central energy system, you're going to explain how everything is connected to one another and why literally we don't change. So it's very, very interesting, that explanation. We got more question, and it goes into as well one of the question Mr. Keshe answer, and he's going to explain about detachment, and it's because he's going to talk into transmutation and how can we achieve detachment through transmutation. Sorry, how can we achieve transmutation when fully understand detachment. And Mr. Keshe going to explain what it does mean, detachment, and make a good example there, good analogies there. And then goes into the connection or having full trust, no fear, full trust. You make the example, for example, when we climbing, if you ever went climbing, I did recently, started climbing very recently. So I thought, wow, the way Mr. Keshe talk about climbing, it seems like maybe been climbing before, because it's true. You need to have a full trust to let go one hand and trust you're not gonna fall. So if you have chance to climb or experience climbing, please do, because it will give you the good understanding of have a trust that everything will be okay. And that it's very important for us and for who wants to understand how to transmute. It's very, very important, very fundamental. Then we're going to talk about, there's Dean. Dean come out with a very deep question. Is another knowledge seeker. And in this deep question about something happening today regarding some device that unfortunately they have some explosion attached to it. Mr. Keshe going deeply into a testimonial, a personal testimonial. I really recommend you to hear that. So it's very touching. So you're going to explain. So the question, Dean, was if we can change this device that harm people into a plasma device that actually help people. And then Mr. Keshe going into the testimonial of that. It's really, really touching testimonial. I really recommend you to see that too. Then again, going to the transmutation session, talk more about the transmutation, because the second question from Dean was regarding the transmutation that's happening every month. So if you're not aware of it, if you just join us on this weekly workshop, every month we have a transmutation session, and the transmutation session is the practical of the theory of the Thursday. And in this occasion, Mr. Keshe very interestingly said, refer to a very important testimonial that we have couple of workshop ago, maybe 3 workshop ago, from a really there knowledge seeker. He make a very strong testimonial that he had I can say because it's public, so I can say. So the testimonial was about him having some health issue, and how during this transmutation session he saw a massive improvement. He actually think that he's been cured, but it's very interesting that Mr. Keshe now suggests him to please do not attend any more transmutation session. Try to understand what happened to you and try to understand where are you now. And he also recommend to everyone who achieved the transmutation to please don't attend any more transmutation session, and really make your body now do the work. Then they usually in the transmutation session, the device, the machine in the lab, they help you to achieve. He said, now, if you achieved it once, please practice without the transmutation and see if you can achieve it without the machine. Because as we know, the end goal is get humanity completely free from any shackle. So even the machinery that we use now are all only stepping stone for then us be able to learn our body fully like a plasma device, and not be able, no need to any machine or any tool. So if you achieve the transmutation, please practice. Mushfaq is very good at it. I'm sure he will talk later on about the transmutation in the transmutation session, and he will really help you to have a better understanding of all this, how to work without the help of anything. Then going again, there are so many questions, like we had like 10 questions. So I'm trying to be really fast to give you a quick summary. So another very interesting question was from another knowledge seeker, and where they from YouTube, I think was, and this person asked if the human being can be back as a perfect human being. And Mr. Keshe really go into this question. Very, very, again, super interesting answer. Do not miss out his answer, because he really explained the process of what they are here to do, how they're going to bring humankind to be free from any shackle and independent again. And he explained as well how the last year event, where in few workshop ago, he explained that the ray of the sun, for the first time, reached the earth and beyond. And in that process, as we know, the fields comes with knowledge. So in that process, we had a massive change in the whole entire earth. And they still now, the research group, are monitor the earth to see this change, to see if it's been changed at the social level, on the way we think, on the way we behave. And he explained as well that it's not just regarding this change to humans, not just the humankind's need to be improved and supported and guided. It also, this change is included all the animal, all the living being, all the plants, everything that is in earth, it will be affected positively by this change. And he also explained that this change was not a coincidence, was actually prepared, and every steps that they are here, these people are here to make this change happen, are carefully thought and prepared. So nothing is just happen casually, or just everything is prepared. And so they prepare in the condition for give us enough support to make this change happen. So it's just a matter of time. We have to just keep going and keep sharing this technology as much as we can and study deeply. So that was, again, another very, 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 very important answer, not to miss. And then we go into another very important answer, because another knowledge seeker, I think it was Gal, she asked about listening all the first part of the 556. She said, oh, I have to think back and I need to, I cannot now really repeat word by word her question, but in summary, she had a better understanding why we're here and which was our purpose. She asked if when we go into the next stage of our existence, on the next cycle, if we can keep our own physicality and through the next cycle. And Mr. Keshe gave another very good answer. He said, don't forget that we are here to serve. And so in the next cycle, that is the main object of our soul. So you will do principle that. So you will going to serve somewhere else in the universe. So as I said before, in this workshop, you also explain why we don't die. So very interesting question, very interesting question. And then there is another question. I don't remember now who made this question. It was again from YouTube. But here again explained the important of how the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, they working together. So for example, I don't know, he make example like if you go a misconduct, if you do something that you shouldn't do, even though no one see you, because our soul are all connected, and they're all aware of what's happening. Somehow down the line you will balance the book. So something will happen to you that you will call an accident, but that accident is actually not an accident. It's actually to balance the fields, is to balance your position. So your soul with other soul, they thought that is the best way for you to go forward, and to be balanced, and goes on and on. I think I cover all the questions. Maybe I missed a few at the end, but if I miss few, that will be a surprise for you when you're going to listen the workshop. So I think I said quite a bit, so I don't want to hold you more because we always run out of time. Thank you so much. Thank you for the heart. So we're gonna go into the wishes, and then we're gonna go into the soul connection. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and stay with us. Okay, I don't know who read this wish. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Marinus. Thank you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We, the Universal Council and the Universal Council supports, give freely from our soul, collectively, for protection of Mr. Keshe and the peace on earth.
We are present.
We, the UC, wish peace within the connected souls present on planet Earth.
We are present.
We, the UC, unite our soul with the soul of the elements that affect change in the weather, such as rain, fire, and wind, to find balance in every part of this planet, or wish I shall comment.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our collective central energies to create the condition that more and more eyes and souls become aware of the humbleness and powers of the Keshe plasma technology and begin to investigate and understand what befits them. These are our wishes. and our wishes we command.
We are present.
Hello again, my dear friends. And this is Mehran's UC support for Farsi language. I'm inviting you to just take a time for yourself, calm your spirit till you breathe calmly, and then let go of your soul and connect your soul to other souls who wish peace and prosperity on earth. Imagine peace is there, prosperity, joy, brotherhood. Nobody needs nothing, and everyone has as they wish. It is done. And enjoy this peace everywhere on earth. And then wish with other souls connected protection for Mr. Keshe and the Keshe Foundation. Enjoy this moment of connection as you wish.
Thank you, beautiful soul. for being here always, creating this beauty and totality in the connection of soul, of heart, and soul. So thank you again. Salam, namaste, salam, salam. And now we can go. Thank you, Ina. And now we can go to the next presentation.
Hello, hello, hello again. This is Stefania. So what we just did now was a soul connection, and as I said in the 556, Mr. Keshe there talk about the soul and how this central energy system that it's also calling the soul of the man, it's connected with all the other central energy system, and not just in Earth, but in the whole galaxy. We're all connected. So what we just did like a practice where we don't talk, because when you talk and when you think, you are not at the soul level, you are at the physical level. So it's like exercise that we do to practice this connection, to strengthen this connection that we have at the soul level. Because as you practice it more and more, then you become aware of it, and then you start to feel it. You start to feel when this connection is happening, and then you will realize that it actually happened 24/7. So again, we got another practice of this soul connection that happen every day. Every day we make a specific time where we all together, we practice this connection. And it's 9 p.m. CET time. So CET time means European time. So so you have to check where you're from and check the time that correspond to 9 p.m. CET time. And also this is very important because so we can practice as one all together, like we just did now, and 9 o'clock every day. And then you can practice on your own time whenever you remember it. And then eventually the goal of this is to become full aware that we are connected at the soul level 24/7. Maybe some of you are, some of you are not. So this is why we're doing it. And then we can pass easier knowledge to each other and be more what can I say? When you're more aware, then you go more sane of uh, what you want to do and what you want to happen. So you're less passive. And this is a very powerful tool for us because cannot be interfere, cannot be this is something that doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, doesn't matter. You can do it anytime, anywhere, in any place. So I just read it. So it's invitation of the Universal Council. Can invite the Keshe and the Universal Council family, because it's also everyone, every soul in existence. In unify the soul level every day at 9 p.m. For the elevation of the soul of the leader and the soul of the totality of the Keshe Foundation, creating peace in everything that is existence. So explain a little bit about the why we elevate the soul of the whole leader, because the leader that you want to not represent your nation. And we at the soul level, he took this place. So by elevating the soul leader, and we can do this at the soul level all together, then the leader will not be able to do any harm, or will not be able to do any misconduct. So is one way is is the quickest way to manage to get this planet in peace again. And that's why we do the reason is to create in peace. And this for everyone, for any existing being. And like I said, in the 556, Mr. Keshe touched this point, where he touched the fact that they are here to help us, not just human being, but everyone in existence. So yes, so by meet up 9 o'clock at the soul level, you are contributing to this change. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming to be present to this appointment. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. Thank you.
Okay, next we have the questions and answers with the Universal Council with Marie and Claudia. And let me get that prepared. And we are starting with question number 3 this week. And that starts at about the 48-minute mark. Okay, let's begin.
So then we are on the third question. What is the difference between becoming a passenger of the universe and the seed for another soul or soul of another structure like Earth? How to understand these two processes?
Então vamos para a terceira pergunta. Qual é a diferença entre se tornar um passageiro do universo e uma semente para outra alma, ou ser uma alma de outra estrutura, como a Terra? Como entender esses dois processos?
And the first answer, I think you are always a passenger of the universe. The difference is like sit in the driving or passenger seat.
Então, eu acho que você sempre é um passageiro do universo. A diferença é como estar sentado no assento do motorista ou do passageiro.
And there is another answer. Understanding that all cycles are endless. There are no time restrictions, as we know on Earth. One is connected to the other. By becoming a passenger, you accept to travel the soul dimension. This includes the enveloping of physicality. By traveling, we experience the freedom of the soul. On the other hand, we have to keep ourselves to the ethos of the universe and do not kill no more. Start by living the ethos of Mitra, and your good thinking leads you to good speaking. The result will be good doing in all you do. That's the key, dear souls. We walk this path together. You are not alone.
Outra resposta é: compreenda que todos os ciclos são infinitos. Não existem restrições de tempo, como conhecemos na Terra. Um está conectado ao outro. Ao se tornar um passageiro, você aceita viajar pela dimensão da alma. Isto inclui o envolvimento da fisicalidade. Ao viajar, experimentamos a liberdade da alma. Por outro lado, devemos nos manter no ethos do universo e não matar mais. Comece vivendo o ethos de Mitra e seus bons pensamentos levarão às boas palavras. O resultado será fazer o bem em tudo o que você fizer. Esta é a chave, queridas almas. Caminhamos juntos por este caminho. Você não está sozinho.
And there is another answer. As I understand, the difference between being a passenger and being a seed of a structure is being in motion in the universe or manifest in a place and a position in the universe. So one state is on the move, the other is manifesting in a position like a landing.
Como eu entendo a diferença entre ser um passageiro e ser uma semente para uma estrutura, é estar em movimento no universo, ou manifestar-se em um lugar e posição no universo. Então, um estado está em movimento e o outro está se manifestando em uma posição, como um pouso.
And there is another answer. All of us as energy, we are part, a speck of dust that makes up the universe and the one. Each soul decides to travel and manifest itself in another position and place in the universe, physically, if it's your desire. Likewise, all these stars, those lights that we see on Earth and outside of it, are souls that decided at some point whether to physically manifest somewhere or come to the aid of some planet, star, galaxy, or being that needs it. Our fundamental soul also consciously decides to become a seed, to create another galaxy, another planet. It is the decision of each soul, and it is a natural process that repeats itself for billions of years, indefinitely, because in time it only exists on this planet.
Então, outra resposta é: todos nós, como energia, fazemos parte. Somos uma partícula de poeira que compõe o universo e o um. Cada alma decide viajar e se manifestar em outra posição e lugar no universo, fisicamente, se for o seu desejo. Da mesma forma, todas essas estrelas, essas luzes que vemos na Terra e fora dela, são almas que decidem em algum momento se manifestar fisicamente, em algum lugar, ou vir em auxílio de algum planeta, estrela, galáxia, ou ser que precise. Nossa alma fundamental também decide conscientemente se tornar uma semente para criar outra galáxia, outro planeta. É a decisão de cada alma. E é um processo natural, que se repete por bilhões de anos indefinidamente, porque no tempo só existe neste planeta.
So then we are on the fourth question.
Many thanks to Claudia and Marie for their contribution there. Okay, and move on to the next part of our presentation, which is called expectations. And I have an audio recording that I'll play. Excuse me, let's get this teed up here. Okay, I'll play that now. This is with Andrea speaking.
Hello and greetings to all of you. I'm Andrea, support member from the German community. Today I like to share with you my experiences about the coil of our expectations with the teachings of Mr. Keshe. Maybe it helps you for a better understanding of the totality. So we all together come closer to live the ethos of Mitra in full understanding. What is an expectation? It is an abused wish which we create through overstressing, misunderstanding, or experienced an unsolved trauma. Last, you try to fill a lack of your emotions because you can't love yourself through your intense pain. It's very important to know I can love only when I love at first myself. When I'm overstressed, I require from others what I'm not able to do right now. In a way, I serve my ego or want to control the other. Misunderstanding arises when you are not able to explain and choose the right words correctly to others. You know it from your own life. You try, for example, to educate your child or pet, or you need help. You say what you want. Sometimes with misunderstandings, nobody can read your thoughts and expect that the other do it exactly. When not happened, the coil starts for all. You will be angry, scream, disappoint, and your negative emotions explode more or less, sometimes with violence. Your opposite comes maybe also disappoint, feel I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, you hate me, you don't love me. Trauma can occur. The same when you have pets. You have any expectations and your cat or dog don't do it. It's why they can understand your language and thoughts, only your frequency. Sometimes people beat their pets. Trauma can occur. The most expectations are in our relationships. How must be the appearance, the charm, and the character, etc. It is so important to aware that every soul is unique. When you compare with others, you are your own jailer and may be keeping your consciousness prisoner. That happens when you live an unsolved trauma. You create thoughts that you feel better at first, but it's a maze. What are the keys to elevate the soul and lose the different expectations, which are attachments? The only way is go in responsibility and change your emotions. Take time and try to explain exactly your pure wish and feelings. The most important is to accept the reaction from others with love and patience. Sometimes their soul is not mature enough in this moment. When you have an unsolved trauma, accept the situation as it is and your pain. Very important to know is your trauma is redeemed when you feel no more negative emotions. Then you have left your prison. Then you have elevated your soul. Everything is a process and takes time to aware. We have every day the chance to practice. Now we can understand more and more the totality, why mankind needs to understand and internalize the commandments from the Creator, and why he sent Mitra to Earth. It's the only way for us to resolve all our attachments. In the last teaching, Mr. Keshe spoke about that some creatures come to Earth to feel the emotion of love, to have the physicality of the man. We as one are apparently unique in the galaxy, universe, and unicos. We have to go back to our roots and leave the matrix forever with unconditional love and unlimited giving. Thanks to the Creator for his work.
Okay, thanks to Andrea for that. Move on to our next part here, which is an extract from the 556 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, starting at just over the 2-hour mark. And I'll play that now.
If you go on the internet about the storm, which started May the 7th. It's a normal startup with just a normal explosion on the sun's surface. This is on your internet, live stream, earth.com and space.com. But go to the other one page. Look at the last topic. It says another round of severe and extreme solar storm is expected. That's a series of CMR expected to emerge and reach Earth near midday on May 12, 23, causing another large geometric whatever. This is what is on your internet. The date, 12th of May. Earth hit by biggest storm on 12th of May. Peak at 12:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now I show you something else. Severe geometric storm will bring widespread aurora this weekend. Now I want to show you something. Look at the date on the top. These are Chinese leading scientists, military, defense, space. This test started from 8th of May. I explained to you how we create the storms. This system running at that time. These guys you see in the background, they're some of the top Chinese scientists. And on the table is the system which has caused the extraction of connection. There's a video of this, and you all know the face next to it in everything. Wang Li. The storms, the connections, is part of the structure of restructuring to bring the condition. And I don't need to say anything. Picture speaks 1,000 words. We can connect everything, but we have to facilitate everything else for it. We have to bring a condition to be at that point. And when the soul of the man sits to bring a change, the whole universe works to do that, because our wish is sincere. I can show you videos from the 8th of March 2023, where we set this thing up to start going. And so, the connection wasn't accidental. Now you understand. When you have a wish has to be that it fits everything and everyone. And at our level, to wish for peace has to change everything at the same time. The face of these people in the background, the West will give the right arm to get them to know who they are. Leading scientists in Chinese military, space defense. These are the people I work with. And we bring the change. And then you understand what happened and how that came. It wasn't just a storm, it was bringing the change. And the change has to come in a correct way. And it has to accommodate everything. It's not just the man. We have to change the climate that it fits the animals, the plants. And everything else is set up for the souls who work to achieve the same. When we speak about the world peace, we have to structure it that is achievable in all levels, not just for man. And when you had the shower of that aurora, the dogs, the cats, the ants, the trees all received it. It wasn't just for man to see the light. And this is important to, in a way, understand for many of you that our work is not just accidental or coincidental. Our work is in absolute perfection. And we have to consider every aspect before we take another step, and make sure is inclusive of everything, plus those who live beyond this planet, that it doesn't harm them at the time, and everything else is in absolute harmony. And this is part of the process of what we call the creation. And it's important for many of you to understand this, as step by step things will take shape, and things have a purpose to in a way to go this way. There is a reason. And this is part of the structure which is set to bring that change.
Well, that's our extract from the 556 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which is found on the Keshe Foundation YouTube channel, if people would like to pursue that. And next we have the knowledge and understanding of the 556 Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania, I believe. And I think I have a video to play in the background for you.
Yes, meanwhile you look in the video, Rick, I just wanted to just say quickly that what we just saw, it's was part of the last workshop, like you said, and it's very, very important. So it really gives the picture of what it's all about. Yes, you can go and show the next video. Thank you.
Do you want me to play the audio with the video, or do you just want the background?
To play the audio as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick. I think it's gonna play again the same. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, this was a very lovely video. Even just from this writing, you can see free energy in exchange of world peace. But Mr. Keshe was very clear. It's not like free energy in exchange of world peace. He said that once we start to understand how the creation work, how the universe work, once we have the true knowledge, as a consequences, we're gonna have a free energy. So as we gain knowledge and as we understand more, then all these things will go into place. So we will have a better understanding that it's no one job man or few people doing the work, but it's something that we collectively we're gonna do together. That's why it said also together we can stop war, anger, and suffering, or we can explore the universal community, or go to the next step. So it's something that has to be done collectively, because all together, because the change is so huge, the change is so big. Even in the previous video, you heard Mr. Keshe, where they came here to help us, and they considering every single step before go forward with anything. And they including everyone in this change. No one is left out or left behind. And everything has to be done in harmony. And step by step, things will take shape and will be happen. So the structure is already set. So we are going this direction. It's just now a matter of time of bring more understanding. As we know, as the fields get stronger, the fields also carry knowledge, and then will be much clearer for everyone how to do it and how to reach this point. But it's inevitable. So it's something that it's already set. So in one way, I'm very happy. I'm sure there are many, many people here listening, and many people in the world that are really ready about this change. I think many people had enough of the situation of struggle or wars or injustice. I think many people now, it's their wish to end this struggle and end this war and live all in harmony. I know this sounds, for some of you, impossible to achieve, but I know for some other of you, it's getting now more and more clear and more possible. And especially people who've been follow the Keshe Foundation and study this knowledge for quite a while. Now they can see that that it's very possible, and we are doing it as we speak. And maybe that's why people from other places, they come to rescue us. I remember Mr. Keshe said a long time ago, but this is what I remember, that from my memory, that he said that the earth was cry for help, like the human race, and the earth, very very fed up about all the situation. And so they come, and many of them, many people, they're enlightened. They come and they're gonna help us to go to the next step. I don't know if anyone else want to add more to this subject. I know that we already nearly 4:30, so in half an hour we have to close. So, and I know that we still need to speak about the transmutation. But if someone want to say something briefly to add to this, welcome. They can talk. Yeah, thank you. Okay, if no one wants to add anything, we can then move to the transmutation. I'm not sure if Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey,
This is
Mushfaq, nice to hear
yeah.
your voice.
Actually,
The best man. Practice transmutation.
I'm Mosfeq, representing Bengali language. So once again, I'm just going to continue with what Stefania was talking about, and essentially transmute her words to my words. So anyway, the interesting thing about what Stefania was saying is that there is a change that is happening and presence of souls on this planet right now is part of this change. When we apply transmutation within our own universe, which in this case is our body, with the sun being our soul, we transfer energies in order to correct certain anomaly which arose because of various environmental conditions, which includes some of our emotional reactions to the environment. So in doing such a thing, we become aware at an energetic level, the field level, the arrangement within our universe or our body. Now, last workshop, Mr. Keshe talked about that whether it's a solar system or a galaxy or a universe, each has its own physical structure and its own energetic flow within it. So as we become more familiar with our universe, we are in a position to help other entities in different scales, larger, smaller, to correct their situation. So bringing this idea closer to home, as we learn transmutation to transmute our body, for example, there was a testimonial of in the recent knowledge seekers workshop about cancer recovery. So that gave us an understanding of how the fields are being applied within our universe. Now, having this understanding is both powerful and far-reaching. The universe, we change the scale of the universe to the societies of this planet. Now we have the understanding and the knowledge to transfer energies to the whole social structure, which itself is a body, a collection of individuals called human being. And that energy transfer can remove some of the difficult situations, some of the disease, not of our body, but of our society as a whole, or that of the planet as a whole, or maybe even the solar system. So we are in that position, all of us, those who are practicing transmutation, to apply our knowledge of transmutation, not for just the limited, going from one place to another, but moving the society or the collective humanity as a whole. In Mr. Keshe's presentation last workshop, this is some of the things that we are doing it. Who are this we? Some part of this we is right here in this meeting. So we are part of the solutions. And some of us who are not quite there, we are preparing ourselves to be part of the solution. And this is a level of transmutation which is both individual and collective. And that's the beauty of it. When we apply at the collective level, we can apply at the level of individual, which is a collective of cells, various organs of our body. Which puts us in a position to remove the dis-ease of society and even beyond the planetary level, certain unease, certain misconduct, all of these. So our diligence, our effort to transmute is not the story of each individual, but it's our story. We, the souls of this universe, or even beyond this universe. And since we know that we can do it to our body, and we know how our body changes in this transmutation, sometimes it's faster, sometimes a little slower. And by examining ourselves, our own body, we know when it is getting slower and how it is getting slower. And sometimes it happens in an instant. Why is that? So we are now we are witnessing some of these changes, very rapid changes in certain places. Other places it's slower. The changes are nevertheless present. And just like when we do it to our body, we learn to see the signs that this is working. And this is very important because we are not just watching something magic happen. There is no magic because we are creating the situation. How it is being created, how it's manifesting, whether it's visible or not, we know it. And this is something that, for the benefit of souls, not just humanity, but other souls on this planet. And I have mentioned this earlier, that we have currently in our Thursday Knowledge Seekers workshop, we have this discussion of this energy coming from the sun, and it's being received by the planet. We may not have noticed one thing Mr. Keshe talks about, is that we are respecting this wish of this energy transfer. Where is this wish coming? Some of it, we have done it in this One Nation, One Planet, One Race for several years. And this is, so are we part of this story? Have we forgotten what we have done? It's a good time to remember, because we are part of the story. We are part of this energy transfer. We did our energy transfer to the planet, to this, and to the solar system, and so forth. So let's not forget what we are doing. We don't have to be, put a drum roll and say, yeah, we did it and all that. No, it's a silent, humble work where we do it. It happens. We know we are part of the story, but we are not the only one. There are other things going on, other souls participating. Even the most criminal of the political leaders, they're opening up. They're showing what they actually are, so that the rest of us can see. Oh, these are really what they are. So they are participating as well, because it's a soul level elevation. We didn't tell them to do this way, that way. It's the elevation of the soul. They are helping the whole process. And just like we are part of the story, they too are part of the story, although they're we may classify it as the heinous criminal of our society, be that as it may, but they're helping us to understand as well. So we can even be grateful to them in that sense. It's a weird way of thinking about it, but is it? They too are part of the story. Maybe by doing what they're doing, their soul is being elevated. Their learning process is getting enhanced. Maybe it will take them many, many eons to reach a point where they could be positively creative, but the journey must start somewhere. And our soul elevation, the blessing of our soul elevation is there to support them. No matter what position they're in, no matter how bad, how criminal, how whatever. So this is a different way of looking at things, the harmony of things. Apparently things that are working against each other are even working together to enhance the situation. So let us do our part as much as we can as we learn more through our development of our understanding through plasma science and our application of it, which is also very important, because unless we apply it, we can say all the words we can imagine and talk about it all day long, but the reality has to sink in by becoming part of the operation within the fields. And this is fundamental. We have to carry out our own plasma scientific experiments with the fields. And this, soul elevation, is one example of it. Fixing the pain in our toe is another example of it. Do they contribute to the pain in our society? We can make it happen, all of us. And isn't it wonderful to be in that position? Or even if we are not, to move to that position. There is a lot in transmutation that we are learning. And may our journey be pleasant and fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Srina. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. We said, as you always do, about harmony, the harmonious we are becoming. And I will say that add few words to your lovely way to clarify the soul elevation, the transmutation. As we know now, our purpose in this elevation is to bring the light. Now we know, after thousands of years, what is the purpose? To bring the light in, the love in, peace in. And cloaking ourselves, as my mother Ashriman and Keshe said, cloaking ourselves means, well, there is no response anymore. Yes, there is response. But we become kind of, neutral. We observe, we started observing things. And when we bring the light in, then we understand how the level we don't want started to decay for the new creation. And I will say that I have been this, well, we can say detachment anyway. But that doesn't mean in India we have this detachment kind of jumping and going to the Himalayas and coming like a sadhu and said, hey, here I am. No, not like that. But then not responding in a way that we are there, but we are not talking about it. What we don't want to. That is the way. But we are there. My children come, I give food. They want this, they want that. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not the person anymore. They see me like that. But I crossed the level. And I am in love, light, and peace with all the lovers. And we say that in India there is a saying that Mehboob mere mehboob means, oh my lover, tu hai to duniya kitni haseen hai. If you are there, the light is so beautiful. And if you are not there, tu nahi to kuch bhi nahi hai. If you are not there, then nothing is there. Close. So, thank you, Moshfik, my dear. Thank you so much, so much for always explaining. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, beautiful souls for listening. Now we can move. Anybody wants to talk about or add to Moshfik, what has he said? Thank you, lovely soul. Now we can go to the next presentation, my dear. Welcome, Dean.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Moshfik, and Sweta, Stefania. Thank you for all those wonderful things that you've been speaking about, and the transmutation, as we know, has been taking place, time, place, and position. So the 2024 transmutation test, and it says about booking the virtual seat for your soul. And these are 2-hour sessions with small groups organized by a geographical positioning of the participants. According to the number of participants, it can be done in 1 Friday per month or extended to 2 Fridays per month. Participants will be informed by email of their time allocation. Please make sure you mention in the comments section of the order the time zone you will be participating from. And you can see this is there's a link there to book now, and it's every 3rd Friday of this month, from July 2024 to October 2024. 2-hour sessions, and it's €600 per session. So I went into the last transmutation test, but my soul journey was a little bit of a bumpy ride, where just before I was about to go in, I couldn't get into the everything changed on my accounts, and so I couldn't actually book in at that precise moment when I was supposed to. So I sort of understood it as a soul interaction saying, you're not ready, or it's not the time, place, or position. And this went on back and forward, and I was trying to organize myself in the background to be able to actually take the position. And it just didn't quite happen. So this is, when things are in the flow, when it's correct, the plasma flows. And you don't have to think about anything. It just magically happens for you. The doors open, the field strength materializes, you feel it within you, and it just flows. And sometimes it doesn't. And I always remember Mr. Keshe saying that sometimes when you think you're giving the most is when you're not, and vice versa. Because plasma flows both ways. It's magnetical and gravitational. So it's an interaction that is constantly in motion back and forward. And the emotions are what, on planet Earth, if you are triggering the emotions, the connection, then you're tending to find that you are in a fixed position. It's the emotions that limit mankind's ability to transmute. When you can actually go into the soul level and be present without the mindset of the thinking process, then I think that many knowledge seekers that are taking the transmutation will reach the next levels. And I, from what has been spoken by Mr. Keshe and many others, it's some knowledge seekers, some of the Universal Council members have reached this position. They have transmuted. And it is for them now to teach us the way forward for us to be able to experience this transmutation. So this is the transmutation test. Book your virtual seat for your soul. And as I said, I did eventually get in, but it was the time, place, and position was totally opposite to what I was, I suppose, an expectation. Again, have no expectation. So the soul positioned me at a very specific moment that was totally the other end of the position that I was expecting. I was expecting it at a certain time, and it was completely the opposite end of the time. However, it's nothing is right and nothing is wrong. And so you experience on a soul level what you need to, and the soul positions you. So it's the best not to look at it in the wrong way, not to fight it. It's best to just be present with it, let it flow, and then the emotions, the gradient of field strengths that you gather will readdress themselves, will rebalance, will reposition, and then it all leads to the same place. Transmutation all leads to the same place for each and every one of us. It's elevation of the soul. And once you reach this sweet spot, once you reach this position, then all the other thoughts and intentions will melt away, because you are now in a position where you are at any point from point A to point B that you need to be present within. It's then just a connection, and you will find yourself in this position. So this is the 2024 transmutation test. Book your virtual seat for your soul. Thank you, Rick. I think we can move on now, unless somebody else would like to say something about the transmutation test. Do we have anybody else who'd like to say something? No? Okay. Right. So thank you, Rick. Yeah, if we can go to the next slide, that would be wonderful. Please. Thank you.
There was a video that was supposed to be played. I'm not sure where it actually fits in. The disclaimer of the soul video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be after the presentation of Stefania there, the last presentation of Stefania. So, and that's got Mark beside the disclaimer of the soul. Mark, are you part of that? Should we play that first?
Sure, it's a 3-minute video. I didn't want to interfere, though. I thought maybe it didn't happen for whatever reason, but if you'd like to, go right ahead. Another beautiful video created by Ed, and he's taking part of what Mr. Keshe said about the beauty of the disclaimer. So let's listen for 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's a sound issue, Rick. We do need the audio with this.
You can't hear the audio?
I can't.
Okay, I'll try a different setting. Something got messed up with when I played the audio clip earlier. I'll try the different Zoom. Okay, I'll replay this. I think we could hear it on probably YouTube and Vimeo, but not on Zoom, I guess. Okay, let me play a bit and let me know if it's working.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Mark. We'll continue.
I hope I open your eyes to the dimension of life. Life as a holistic life of your soul, which is part of the structure of the universe, not life as part of the physicality, which is part of the structure of this planet. And then we understand what the next step be if we are not prejudiced, if we are not misguided, if we are not narrow-minded, just to keep to understand what is here, I leave the rest to my soul when I'm gone. Then you find out you have a lot to learn to get to that point. I hope, as usual, I open another door, a crack in the wall, that it brings down all the misguided understanding of the past, and you become to enlighten yourself. If you listen, which is beautiful every time I hear it, to the disclaimer of every teaching, embedded in it, in the word of it, in the ethos of it, it keeps on telling you, this is individual cases. It's your job to investigate independently, to peer review if what they did suits me, if it's correct to me. It's not just for your illness, it's for the illness of your mind, your understanding of your own world of creation. And then you understand, even each intro gives you what I call independently, you decide. Does this fit me? Do I understand it? Where I missed? And does it go according to my intelligence? This is why we never have a peer review, because in the word of the disclaimer, it's your job to investigate to your understanding, and it befits you.
Okay, thank you, Ed and Mr. Keshe, for again more enlightenment. And again, I'm just going to share my understanding or what it meant to me. And the first thing that it triggered was what Mr. Keshe had said some time ago about not interfering with the soul in motion. And you can think about that if you'd like, about not interfering with the soul in motion. And of course, at our level of wishing and our level of understanding, as we can see with the creation of the aurora and what happened in that process, that everything has to be considered. All the plants and the animals, when that takes place, changing the conditions on the planet, to make sure before they take the next step that everything is correct, even to that it doesn't adversely affect souls in the universe. But this is at their level of wishing and their level of the perfect creation. We're not quite at that level yet. And we do see this quite a lot in the, let's say, the world of religions, the world of education, the world of families, where I had a girl, but I wanted a boy. Maybe I can, with today's technology, we can interfere with that. We can change that because this is what I wanted you to be. Or I wanted you to be a doctor, but the child wants to be a painter. We think it's our right to, in a way, interfere. And as I said, at our level of understanding and our level of wishes, it's not quite there yet. So we see this a lot, again, in the world of religion, education, the family, and so on. We always want to ask the priest or ask the imam or ask the rabbi to enlighten us or to enhance our understanding. And this is, in a way, on both sides, a disease of the brain in so many ways. But this is, in the Keshe Foundation, we have a new way, a new system of enlightening yourself. And this is what Mr. Keshe has often talked about. We teach ourselves. Of course, we learn from each other as well. And he also mentioned we don't have peer review. I know when people were submitting scientific papers, they weren't to be peer reviewed, except by the author themselves. And as they understood more, they would add more to these papers. So again, it's your job to investigate and understand this technology, as he said, in what fits with you. And of course, detachment is part of this enlightening of ourselves. And as I mentioned, the world of wishes, we don't consider everything as the universal teachers do and the other things, that everything has to be correct with every soul before we take the next step in this. So again, I just think it's you who has to open the door, as we heard in the initial video, I think, and a new strength will appear in you. And it's not for me to chew it for you and to tell you exactly what it means. As Mr. Keshe has concluded, all these teachings are about you and understanding yourself, the process of creation, and how you're going to create your universe, perhaps in the next cycle. And of course, you become more confident when you open the door yourself. In the world of the matter state, when I open the door for somebody, they think that's quite polite. And this is the way it should be done. But in the world of plasma technology, we allow others to open the door for themselves because it gives them more confidence and that they don't need intermediaries and they don't need prophets and they don't need other messengers to tell them how to think about this knowledge. So again, by not interfering, and of course we can elevate on the soul level, we know what, but our level hasn't reached that understanding of the totality that everything has to be correct. Not discouraging you from wishes, but realizing that we have more to understand in this whole process. And of course, by not interfering, I think your blood pressure and your emotions will stay more in balance. So it's something we can, in a way, apply on a regular basis. Yes, if you're asked or if you're questioned about something, sure, you can give your understanding of it, but it's not to have the others see it the way I see it, because again, do we tell other stars in the universe you're not shining bright enough, or you're in the wrong position, or you should be over here or that? So I think this gives, again, a more understanding of the totality when we do not disturb other souls in motion, because we don't exactly know what's cooking in that vessel or in that pot, as Mr. Keshe likes to say. So those are just a few words I thought I'd add, and I want to thank Ed for the beautiful creation of Mr. Keshe's mentioning of this disclaimer. Thank you.
Well, you mentioned Aurora, Mark, and I'm just looking at this image of transmutation that we have, and this image was created, I think, back in 2016 or around there, quite a few years ago. And if you look at it, it's got the sun on one side of this kind of like a Earth's sort of aura, you might say. The sun on one side, and on the other side, we have the aurora, essentially, which looks just like this bluish green sort of thing in the sky, purple and whatnot, that we see. And it's got a spark of life on that side as well. I hadn't looked at this insignia that way before, but it's actually got the balance of the aurora built in with the sun's interaction with the earth. And that's essentially what was one of the topics of both Mr. Keshe's workshop and the topics today. So interesting.
Yes, the universe is getting involved, and apparently, as he said, with the Chinese scientists, they created a system, as he showed with the timestamps and things, that they're actually engaging the sun in this magnetic elevation of all the creatures on this planet. But again, the understanding at the wishes of the level of the universal community, or let's say universal teachers, is a bit beyond our total understanding. As he said, everything must be considered. And we don't always do that. Well, and yes.
It's interesting, again, in the icon that we're seeing here with this person, it's neither male nor female in a way. And he's not looking at the sun. He's not worshiping the sun. He's looking out at the whole universe, and but with holding the earth in his heart. And it's interesting. It's gone beyond the sun and the aurora, but that's led to the opening of being able to see out into the total picture of the universe, or the cosmos, you could say. Okay, well, we should probably move along here.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
Back to Dean and Dean's presentation. Hello, Dean.
Hello, Rick. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Wonderful words as usual. Okay, so this is something that a presentation that came to me to present to the Universal Council in this very meeting, and I asked my soul, can you guide me? Can you lead me to a position that would help the other souls, would gain an understanding, that something that would trigger a response, would elevate and give a field strength that some would find beneficial and receive what they need in this moment. And so I was searching through various different things, and then all of a sudden this teaching of Mr. Keshe came to position. It was on the KF wiki. As you can see, it's from the 260th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of January the 24th, 2019. And this article is in the KF Plasma Times of April 2019. And it goes, and I will read this. The next slide we will show. Thank you, Rick. And then I will read some of it and make some notes as well. Okay. So hopefully you can all see this. So it goes on to say, when a weaker field comes to feed the stronger, it creates a vortex. So the interaction of the fields of this vortex creates light. So we're talking about some fields here, and we're talking about words that are probably old words. This is from a teaching that back in 2019. But as with all the teachings with Mr. Keshe, they come immediately back into focus and into the moment when you start to look at them and gather a field strength from being present with them. So the interaction of the fields of the vortex creates light, visibility. At the same time, the interaction of these fields create noise. So we have light and then we have noise, sound. And so we have the image or images of sound. And it says, we know the images of sound very well, but we never understood them. We know the images of sound, of light, in the perfect motion, and we have learned how to convert it. Yet we never sit and think to literally understand this process. And this process, as we go through this slide, it gradually reveals itself. Okay. This will become a painful barrier for many of mankind in the depth of space. Many men who are human beings will return from space. I seem to remember there was a space, I think one of the astronauts that's been stuck in space has just returned, literally in the last few moments. So the souls again are communicating. Totally mentally disorientated. What is the reason? Man knows this effect on this planet, but has never understood still to understand it in the space. We will face this, and man has to sort this problem for himself. So we have the soul, figure 1A. So if we look at the blue dot and we look at A, we see the brain, we have the soul position. So this is fig 1A. So in time of sleep, and a wonderful thing here, it says a time of sleep or of a weakness. So there's a new understanding taking position there. The eye is the doorway for the soul. As much information goes out, so fig 1B. So if you go from A to then B and you see through the eye, the field strength is going out. And then it says more comes in through 1C, fig 1C, which is, you can see the blue line, the interaction of the fields coming back into the eye. And I remember Mr. Keshe saying that the pupil is a matter state, but if you want to see the soul, you look at the whites of the eye. That's where the soul is viewing from. So let me, I've just lost my position now. We don't mind, we close it. Yeah, so day or night, it does not matter if we close the eyelids or not. It continuously absorbs a vision of seeing. So whether we are asleep, whether we are closing our eyelids or not, the soul is still absorbing and feeling the fields and communicating, I suppose we could say. What is happening, and the soul uses the eye, the cavity of the eye, or the hole of the eye to be able to break into the open spans of the universe in a much easier way without the bandwidth. When we go to sleep, the vision of the soul of the man does not matter if the physicality of the eye of the man is closed. So I would then say you would open your eyes and look through, but not at a single point. Just let the observable light transmute into your eye. So the eye of the man is closed. The man comes across the mother, so figure 1D. So the man's looking out and then he sees a physicality, D, which represents the mother. He can see and in return recognizes this soul through its image as the mother in Fig 1E now. So as you can see, you're getting a field, a plasma in motion as the eye from point A to point B, and then through the interaction of C coming back into the eye structure, and then the physicality of D, and then the movement, the plasma of this continuous loop on the E, which is a field strength, is going back into the eye. And it says, but since we listen through our eyes. So since when we listen through our eyes, when you dream to itself, then is there a reason that man considers that he hears the voice of the mother and what she says through his ear in the soul. The information actually transformed it to the knowledge of the words we understand at the entry through the eye of the man and not through the ear of the man. So would you hear God? So let's just go back a little bit. So not through the ear of the man, would you hear God? If he speaks to you, or if you put your fingers in your ears, will you not hear him because you blocked the hearing part from the physicality of the man? Now you understand how the soul of the man, through dimensions of itself, not only sees, but hears through the same. So feels and shares through the same. It does not need an arm or a leg to feed itself through the span of the universe in what has seen. He can take what he likes. When he comes to the depth of the space, you can see the soul of the creator or the soul of the creation. And it's for you to understand what it says through the light of the eye of the man. It does not make a noise that it can come through the ear of the man. What we understand is when we dream about our mother and she speaks, do we convert the voice in the eye of the man, in the direction of the soul of the man? So if you are deaf, you should not be able to hear the mother. We have to speak to some deaf people to see how they hear the voice of the mother. If you are blind, you should not be able to dream of the mother and see how she looks. So there's a wonderful analogy there to say that it's the soul that's seeing this. Or when you sleep and close your eyes, you cannot hear or see your mother, but you remember everything about what she said, how she looked, what she was wearing. Now you understand how simple the truth about creation of life is and how much we have misinformed ourselves. So this is a teaching from Mr. Keshe that, as you can see, goes in great detail about how the soul is interacting and using a communication that through what we've come to know, the five senses, it's using it in a completely different way to how we've understood it. This is from a general article about the emotions and the soul. And this has been present on the website, on the wiki website. There's, like all these beautiful teachings of Mr. Keshe, there's so much knowledge for humanity and for each and every soul to take what they need in the moment. And as soon as you ask your soul, as I did just the other day, I actually asked the question, and my soul led me to this position, time, place, and position, to read these exact words. And these words are then being transmuted, broadcast out for other souls to receive. So my soul has instructed me to relate this teaching to the soul of mankind being kind to man, as Mr. Keshe would say. So this is an understanding of seeing the mother. And that mother could be, I suppose, the mother of creation. It could be the mother of a galaxy. It could be the mother of the physicality of your own being. The mother, the womb of the mother that brought you into a condition of physicality, even though through the teachings of Mr. Keshe, we now understand that the soul comes in to the physicality at a certain stage in the pregnancy of the human being. And the soul is present. And all the other souls have agreed to this soul's presence in physicality. It's all a big connection. And then, as we see, once we gain the I, the physicality of the man, so we going back, we would say this is the soul of physicality. And the soul of physicality is to do with the spirituality, the soul of, we say the heart chakra, and all these conditions of the physical body. The soul of the man, as you can see in position A, the blue and white dot, is a space gap, is an energy, is a universal condition that is present in the physicality. It's the spark of creation that's within each and every single one of us. And when we connect that point with all the other souls, then we are connecting with creation and countless trillions, countless numbers of souls that are present. And that has a very big field strength. So when we share the knowledge, as I speak these words and you receive it, you receive this field strength of informations of the soul, and then the soul receives, and then from that receiving, I receive back from all the souls that I've given this information to. And depending on your belief, through the understanding and through my interactions with the foundation, I've come to know that the soul, there's no physical death. Sorry, there's physical death. You lose the coat, the jacket, the human body, but the soul is an energy pack, an energy source connected to the universe. It's an energy that is present always. So when you connect to that, you can transmute. And as I spoke about earlier with the transmutation test, I was communicating through the body and had expectations, and I was limiting myself to a position. So when I use the I through the soul and feel the interaction, whether my eyes are closed or not, then I start to interact in a different way. Then I can start to transmute and be present. And these wonderful gifts and these tools that Mr. Keshe has supplied, and is as a very big gift to humanity to help us to understand the essence of where we came from And as Mr. Keshe said, it's a gradual process of restoring man's ability to go back to the stars and be part of a bigger totality. So I hope that little teaching there was of benefit to some of you, and I thank you all for listening. Thank you very much, Rick, and I think we can go to the next slide now. Thank you all.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so, so much. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And salam namaste, salute, my dear. Very beautiful. And here, again, the needs and wishes from your community. Please, I welcome your beautiful souls to share, add, as we are all learning, share the experiences, share what is going on. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
This is Mosfeg again. So I would like to share a little bit of some of the things happening in my neighborhood. One of the unusual things, it should be usual, but it is unusual in the same sense that you haven't probably heard of an expression called civil peace. This is civility, civilization, whatever, and with peace together. Although we have heard about the other one, civil war. That's more well known. That's kind of oxymoron, isn't it? Civil and then war. Where is the civility in war? Okay, going back to civil peace. So we are experiencing a manifestation of civil peace in our area. What does that mean? As you know, we have a fairly open press, pretty much open press, and everybody knows about all the things and criminality and everything that has happened in the past 50 years or so, since Bangladesh became independent. Now, a lot of criminal elements have infected the society at every level. There's no question about this. Now that people are aware of it, there is a concerted effort, especially from the young generation, of maintaining civility or peace. And why I mention civil peace? Because it's not just students, everybody is involved in it. Everybody is watching their own locality, their own environment, about not having infiltration from the criminal element, which is still there. They're kind of in hiding in a way, but it's okay for them to be there. But what that means is that there is a vigilance to maintain this peace, which is an abrupt change, but it's a very interesting change. It happened abruptly, but it's sticking. Everybody is observing that, well, we have to ensure that what we had earned, the health that we have earned, does not go bad. It's kind of like, we have a disease, we cured it, but we have to be watchful that our health remains intact. All the cells, all the organs of the body cooperate in maintaining that health. It's the same thing at the level of the society here, that we are noticing this. There are the political parties that have been active in the past. In general, political parties operate this way. They kind of create chaos and then they crystallized solution. This is their modus operandi, is the same, as we know. So what is happening is that they are trying to create this
Hello, Mosfeq.
Can you hear me?
We hear
Hello?
you now. We lost the last sentence or two.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll repeat that part. So what is happening is that the political parties of the past, who operated on the principle of, creating chaos. Remember the hyperactive children that we are so familiar with? These are the hyperactive children creating chaos. And these guys, and so they're trying to create chaos, but people at every level of society is very vigilant. And this is a unique characteristic that one thing noticeable though, the older generation who are more into these kind of things are less vigilant. The younger generation are more alert and more aware. And the older generation seems to kind of like let it slip, kind of. There is that element there a bit, but the young generation is holding on a lot better in this area. So this has to be maintained. This vigilance, this maintaining of the health, I mean, as it is true with our physical body, it's true with the society. We cannot let it sleep. This is the reason I'm mentioning this, is that we are transitioning to peace. But peace does not mean that we go on the cloud and sleep all day. Peace means constant vigilance, maintaining the peace. And this is the new operation of peace. It's not a static situation, it's a dynamic aspect of the field. We're constantly in the motion of maintaining this circulation of energy so that peace is sustained, whether at the level of society, at the level of individual, and beyond. So this is a very noticeable thing that we can see now in this environment. And yes, this will transmit to other communities elsewhere in the world at the soul level. And we can maybe expedite the process, those who are involved in soul elevation. But we are not these civil peace. We are used to civil war, but we are moving into a new mode of operation, which is civil peace. And I wanted to emphasize this, and this is what we have to have, almost as a prerequisite to peace. We are constantly watching for the peace. And it's not may the peace be with you. May we always create this peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear Moshe. Thank you so much. Yes, we are creating peace. Thank you. What you said, really, really, very courageous, very brave. I will say, this is my word for those who are bringing the light in, starting from Bangladesh, Palestine, and many more. Thank you so much. But our Indian PM, Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is a very, very, very hyperactive person, a child. He's playing, whenever he is in India, he worship and dance in the mandiras, the temples, and play with the pandits and the Brahmins. And then now he's playing in America with Joe Biden and playing with United Nations officials. They together play, as we know. And I wish Mr. Modi and the United Nations come to their civic sense as early as possible soon. But thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so much. Any beautiful soul else want to say something? Share.
Sweta, it's Dean again. May I quickly just say, I'll be brief. The needs and wishes, we see it here, and it was a wish that I made when we were in a meeting to organise this meeting. So we, the Universal Council, wish peace within the connected souls present on planet Earth. So be responsible for your actions, your words, and your thoughts. Understand that you affect a big portion of beautiful souls that are present. And if the intention is set in the wrong way, and it doesn't balance with creation, with the field informations that are present within the ethos of a soul correct in creation, then there's a balance. And you, at some point, it was spoken about earlier on. People, I can't remember who said about it. It was Mosfek or Mark or Stefania. One of them said that there's a rebalance that you have to pay back, and you might think it's an accident, but it's not. It's actually the souls placing you in a position to rebalance the energy that you've either given in the wrong way or stolen, either from yourself or from the others. And there's always a payback. So this is why you're always in service to others. You're always giving. You can receive much, but when you're giving, when you're in service, it's what the ethos says with the foundation and with the Universal Council. We are here to serve and not be served. And this is a condition that the universal family, that to the souls that understand what this means from creation, they go forth with this intention, and they benefit and they flourish and they bloom from this seed of intention, this creation point. And everything that they create from that opens up and becomes more beauty. Whereas if you go the other way, then you're going to be rebalanced at some point. And we've spoken about it many times, and I spoke about it earlier. The soul is forever. So if you want to do these things for a meager few amounts of whatever it is, minerals, paper, whatever it is that you feel you need, and you're willing to do this to your soul, then understand that at some point, at some time, place, and position, as a soul, the balance, the redress will happen. And it would be a beautiful moment. And maybe it's like Mosfek said, maybe it's you are doing this for a reason, and we must thank you for it, because by doing what you're doing, all the other souls are repositioning and bringing about an energy of peace, a position that is a field strength to bring this peace that has been thought of and part of humanity's subconscious creation for a very long time. But when we come into the moment and we step into the soul aspect of being present, then we have peace in that moment. And that field strength is gathering and gathering, and the souls are aware of it. And then the body has to catch up. It has no choice. Mr. Keshe came, he repositioned, and humanity has to do the same. You have no choice. So I would make it a very beautiful journey and enjoy the beauty of creation. It is your choice in this moment. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you. It is our choice indeed. Thank you. Anyone else? Any beautiful soul want to say something or share?
Yes, we have a question or request from Mahmoud in YouTube, who says, would it be possible to have a program once a month for new people to understand plasma and how to make it?
Mahmood, my dear, well, it is my understanding and it is not an answer, but I want you to go to the knowledge seeker workshop that has been uploaded in the website and even in the YouTube also. You are a YouTuber. You can, as you see the YouTube, you can see the first knowledge seeker workshop to till now the knowledge seeker workshop and how to make the plasma of different material. You can learn it more precisely in these teaching videos. And if you can go through that, you can make it these making of plasma with copper, with zinc, and with many other materials, and even with herbs and all. You can. We have done this as I am a housewife, my dear, and you can go through that, and outstandingly, you will do that. I know, because we all have done this. This is the beauty of it. Even a child can do that, you know. So if this is the way you can go through knowledge, and you can watch it clear according to yourself. You know, watch the videos, watch the teachings, so many teachings, and you can watch it and even now I will say create your own understanding also about the universal knowledge, my dear. Please go through the teaching videos, knowledge seeker workshop.
Well, there's over 2,000 videos, though. It's a little overwhelming, and there's out of that, that's over 6,000 hours they would have to listen to just with the knowledge seekers workshops, and there's about as many other videos as well. So back to the question, is it possible to have a program once a month for new people to understand plasma and how to make it? I think that might be possible, but probably through the private teaching would be the best way to do that. Or they can join the Telegram group and try to get some people interested in your local area or in your language area if you do it by Zoom. And so the various channels on Telegram might be best, and then you can go into the private conversation in Telegram and organize people and ask for help and to get someone to run a program once a month. We used to have workshops for new people, and part of that was usually it was a weekend workshop. You'd spend one day understanding the plasma and the next day learning how to make the ganses and other things like that. It's difficult to do it publicly now on YouTube because a lot of that kind of stuff has been banned or not able to broadcast. So it would have to be in the private program and with people that are similar situation and would like to understand about the plasma technology and how to make it. So also another suggestion is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which is our next workshop coming up tomorrow, and starts at 7 a.m. Central European time, goes for 5 hours at least, usually 6. And so it'll go up till noon Central European time. And that's a place where the creation of GANs is shown. We try to develop an understanding and help people that are newcomers as well to allow them the knowledge so they can understand about the plasma world better. It's a big subject, and it's not something that you can just suddenly know everything, but it is possible for anyone to begin and to make the ganses and to learn how to work with them. A lot of it is, as Sweta mentioned, it's self-initiation and up to the individual to educate themselves through existing videos, and you can do searches, and there's the KF Wikipedia, which is another great source, with the Plasma Times, has a number of great articles there, and other sources. And there's so many different sources, you'll have to kind of figure your way through, although there might be some particular videos that would be helpful. So again, if you go into the Telegram group, that's a great way to communicate about, for a new person to communicate and ask, you know, where do I find information about this or that, or technical details and that kind of thing.
Rick, it's Dean here.
Yes,
May I
sir,
quickly
I
just,
also,
sorry, Sweta, can I just quickly say, so
yeah,
I see that Claudia has put something in the chat, Rick, and it's the Keshe Plasma, Space Plasma Technology. It's a YouTube channel that's been set up for an introduction to the new Keshe Foundation knowledge. So, and it really goes into great detail from the very beginning of being able to understand plasma technology. And so it's in the chat. It is a YouTube at Keshe Space Plasma. So so youtube.com, everybody knows this, / at Keshe Space Plasma. And if you go to this position.
What's the other words? What's the other letters after it? Is that part of it? Yeah. Let me see if that works.
Yeah, that's I've just clicked on it. Yeah, there is some other some other words as well. It's got yeah. When you actually click on that link that Claudia's done, it actually takes you to YouTube, and then the YouTube that I've got here, I mean, I can put it in the chat if you like, is
yeah, put the short version in, otherwise people are going to get confused. I'll put it in the chat there.
There you go. It's in the chat now. That's the
we
short
both have
version, Rick. So it is
okay,
present.
let me put that back into the YouTube channel chat. But the thing is, there's only 2 videos on understanding the plasma or something there so far, right?
That's right, Rick. But that channel is set up to grow, so that many people can contribute, and the knowledge seekers who would like to can make videos, who video themselves doing a presentation, or exactly what you were speaking about, Rick. Just for the new guys, they can video themselves, and they can, and then through the foundation, it will be posted in this group on YouTube. I know
there's
that there is
a playlist called Plasma for Beginners. Let me show it here so that people.
Okay.
I think you can see it there now. So this is the Keshe Foundation, the new Keshe Space Plasma Technology channel. And it has an introduction video, and it's got breakthroughs in science, educational videos. There's only one there so far. And Plasma for Beginners is the other playlist. There's only 2 videos so far, but that would be a short introduction to plasma. There's parts 3 to 12 are unfinished, and that's to come later, apparently. If you go to the original Keshe Foundation channel, it's got a playlist with beginner's introduction to plasma technology or something like that. It's a 12-part series, which is actually much better than these two videos by themselves. So that would be a good way to approach it as well. So that, again, there's many different, as Mark says, maybe we should set up a plasma boot camp for new students. Smile. In a way, that would be a good idea. We don't have an easy entry point. They have to find it for themselves in a way. And that's part of the challenge, is you have to be self-initiating to find it. You can search on Google. It'll often give good results if you use Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and then a particular topic, you might find what you need that way. But there's many playlists as well. And again, in the old YouTube channel, maybe we could recommend a playlist, for example.
Rick, I think that the people that are present, your souls led you here. You are now present. You've asked the beautiful question, and just keep opening up the plasma, and you will find the path. You will find the way that that is correct for you. And then, as Rick has just been saying, you have to initiate. You have to be the one that steps forward and keeps coming forward with it. And then, as you gain more knowledge, which you will do by the fact that your intention is set, you will receive more, and then your field strength will gather, and you'll find that you'll become more active, and then you'll participate more. And this is what happened to myself and many other knowledge seekers. They start from the very basics, and it's in the matter state condition of understanding a plasma. But then once you actually start using physical means, then you start to experience a soul interaction. The plasma works on many, many different, multiple dimensions of tangible fields. It's all field interactions. And when you look at the GANs like we're seeing here, that's physical gas in a solid state. But that has a very, very high property of fields that are like a creation of a mini sun. So there's much energy, many plasmas in this. So you're part of this. That's part of your body structure. So when you open the plasma with your intention, as you've done, step into the world of plasma, and then everything opens up for you, and it'll be the right thing specifically for you. So don't just stop. Keep going forward. It's energy in motion. You've created the field strength. You've opened up the pathway, the superhighway, with your intention. Now step through the door and keep going and see where it leads you. It will lead you to the most wonderful interaction that will elevate you and elevate all the other souls that you then teach. And we all go through this process.
Yes, I do have. I just wanted to know, this person has a specific language, or he wants it in English. If he is Iranian, probably, I don't know if he's Iranian, the name, or Arabic. In Iranian Foundation chat, you can ask the videos from Maysam, from one of the admins. He finds it and he puts it for you. And also there are 12 starting videos of plasma introduction, which I think they have it also. And then you just ask and it would come to you. And I think, as you said, one of us has to start teaching in very easy, simple, starting levels. I've done a video for beginners, children, I'm kind of, after years, I'm kind of editing it just for translation, and I will put it on Iranian chat myself. So it's very easy about plasma.
How does a newcomer access that group you're talking about?
It's in Fondation, Keshe Foundation, Iranian. It's in Telegram. I think if he finds somewhere a website of Keshe Foundation Iranian, he would find their Telegram. He could be member of the Telegram. There are thousands. I'm a member of Telegram also. They have two sites, but especially one which is animated, the videos, discussions, and teachings. And also there are two teachers in Farsi, Hassan and Aza, and he can ask them, put the message on the forum and on the Telegram, and they would answer. But he's right, there is a gap between the newcomers and the old people who are there. And don't worry, it should be taken care of soon. I'm starting to think about it. I like some computer teaching, computer competence, but I have started to get a teacher to finish that. So we'll think about it.
Thank you, Mehran. Claudius says that he's from Texas, so I don't know if he's actually needs to have that language translation.
No, Iranians are in America. They're both languages. But anyway, in Telegram, Iranians, they are mostly new. So there's stuff for new people also. He just has to ask.
Yeah, so there's different, suffice to say, there are different ways. And as Dean mentioned, your heart will lead you through basically, and you will find, your soul will find a way through the maze of information, the maze of knowledge.
Exactly, with pure heart, if we wish, it comes true. We find it would be given.
Okay, thank you everyone for your input on that, and this is something to consider, to find a way to make it a little bit easier for those trying to find their way through that maze. But we gave some good hints here today.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mehran. Thank you, a beautiful soul. Now we can go to the next presentation, my dear.
We did have a hand up with Totalitate. Is this the same person? Okay. It said thank we. Okay. Did you want to ask a question? You have a microphone.
Mic's open. Go ahead. You'll have to open your own microphone. It's open here on our Zoom, but perhaps your mic isn't connected properly in Zoom or something, because we're not hearing you.
May not have connected to audio.
I think he tried something, but we're still not hearing any audio.
The person can write a question in the chat if you want.
Yes. Okay, Rick, that might close. Maybe we should move forward.
Yeah, I think
Thank
so.
Hello.
Still trying. Oh, we hear you now.
There it
Is
is.
that Gianni?
Sounds like it.
Yes, Mark.
I thought it was you when I saw thank we.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're at the end of our show
Please
here,
help me
Johnny.
with translation. Please help me with translation.
Okay, we're at the end of our show here, Johnny, but maybe someone like Elizabeth, are you there? Can you help with translation, or who else we have that's Spanish?
Elizabeth, are you available?
Horatio. No, that's not Horatio. That's Juanito. Sorry.
Horatio,
Oh, sorry,
tomorrow in
yes,
the
yes.
Plasma Reactor group.
Yes, sorry, Johnny, yes.
Hola, Lisbeth.
Hello, hello. Hola.
Quería decir mi deseo y vegeta.
¿Tu deseo de qué? No
Por
se
favor,
escuchó.
¿puedes traducir?
Sí, no, ¿tu deseo de qué?
Mi deseo y vegeta para todo lo que existen.
Okay, hello. Him say hello and him give the wish from him and Geta and about the all the systems, pero sobre, okay.
Es nuestro deseo, pero también es como vivimos nosotros.
Okay. Pero, ¿cuál es el deseo?
Está escrito y le he enviado a Mark, si está de acuerdo leerlo, el Art of Giving.
Okay, está escrito en el chat. One moment.
No, lo tiene Mark en Telegram. Mark, Rick.
Okay. The wish sent to you, Mark, for read. At the Telegram. ¿Lo puedes poner en el chat?
Yes, I just looked for it. I'm not seeing it so far. Okay.
Lo puedes poner en el chat. No tienes problema.
Well, there's a lot of text that he's downloaded. Is that what you mean, Johnny? What do you want to do with that?
Quería si Mark o Rick puede leerlo.
Sí, está mirando Mark para leerlo, pero es que no lo he encontrado.
Did you say in English?
Yes,
¿Está en inglés?
Art of Giving. Yes.
Okay.
Sí.
Okay. Dilo otra vez.
En inglés es Art of Giving.
Act? Like actor? Actor
The
living?
art of giving, yes. It's part of the text that he sent to us, but it's quite long. It's be several pages of text, basically. Do you want to read it? What does he want to do with that? And it's at the end of the workshop. So I don't know if it's the appropriate place for all of this. It's about, I don't know, it's a lot of, where does this come from? Is this taken from somewhere? It's not your words, is it, Gianni? Or is it? It's Hello, Art and Dynamics of Giving, lived and written by Geta and Gianni. Okay. Thank you, Art and Dynamics of Giving. So these are your words, Yanni? Is that it? All this text?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Rick,
So do you want someone to read it?
Do
you want someone to read it, or do you want me? What do you want done with this at this point?
He like you or Margaret.
Lisbeth,
Okay, well,
disculpe, yo tengo el internet bajo, por eso no puedo escribirlo.
Okay. Him input for with Mar or with you for read because your internet is little now. For that reason,
that's fine. But this should have really been arranged with the members of the Universal Council beforehand, because they're to approve things like this before we do it. And now we're already a half over the show that we wanted to have at 2.5 hours. Now we're 3 hours, and we should be ending the show.
Maybe for next week.
I would say, why don't we incorporate it into next week, and then we can do a really good job with it. Maybe with some background pictures that you have, like the spider picture might be good, or something like that, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have to organize it a bit, because it's a beautiful work, but it needs to have its time.
Gianni, ya llevamos más de 3 horas, entonces la vamos a dejar para la próxima semana, que se pueda leer con tiempo suficiente, ¿ok?
And also, let's bring it into the plasma group tomorrow. Are you going to be in the plasma group, Gianni?
Que te pueda hacer para Plasma Group mañana, si te parece también.
Sí, vamos a estar, Horacio también, para traducirlo.
Oh, yes. Him say yes. At that time, Horacio is the Plasma Reactor Group too, but it's better for him, no problem.
Okay, that'll be great. And we can read that article that you wrote in the plasma group as well, because it's beautiful.
Yeah,
gracias, Jetta and Gianni. Muchas gracias.
Beautiful. Eso lo entendiste bien, ¿no, Gianni?
Sí.
Escuchó perfecto.
Para mañana vamos a compartir lo que hemos observado, cómo germinan las semillas con plasma y cómo germinan las semillas con químicas.
Okay. Him say for tomorrow in Reactor Group, expose and share what is the growing seed with plasma and growing seed with the chemicals products. And thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Gianni. We look forward to your presentation next week as well in this group. So let's try to get that organized with the Universal Council people. Excellent.
Yeah. Give me little words. Thank you so much for all the time, and many people all the time at the back for extend the plasma technology, for extend the peace around the world, and of course around the universal community, and continue elevating the soul of the totality for the Keshe Foundation, because we are the soul of the peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear Elizabeth. Thank you, Gianni. Thank we. We'll make a beautiful presentation in
Thank
the
you very much.
upcoming. Oh, thank you.
Reed.
Here we are.
And
Yes,
Gianni,
here we are.
thank you very much.
Sir,
Thank you all.
thank you. Thank you, Mehran. We are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. Welcome again. So swagatam to the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beautiful energy of beautiful souls, universal. All of you. Thank you. Join, follow, jump in, love Keshe Foundation. Salam, namaste, salute, Universal Council. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that brings to a close today's show, I believe. And just get my background image up here. The background image by Jedi Simon. Quite nice. Thank you, Jedi. And that brings to a close our 345th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. So our next public teaching workshop, as I mentioned, is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which is starting Wednesday, September 25th at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And that's for both newcomers and old-timers of the plasma technology. And we discuss all kinds of topics, and if you are a newcomer, we can help you out. And if you need detailed information or technologies of the plasma kind, that's the place to interact with it. All right. Also say the Knowledge Seekers Workshop comes up every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central European Time on the same Zoom ID. And people are welcome to attend that free teaching. All right, I think that brings us to our close here, other than...
And then the newcomers, you have to join the dance.
A little bit of song and dance at the end. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And dance. Thank you. Be enjoyed, dear beautiful souls. Be enjoyed.
Thank you to Sweta and to all the members of the Universal Council for being here today and putting together the presentation and all the work they do in the background, and for all souls everywhere. All right, and thank you all for attending today's workshop. We'll go out with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version as per usual here, and see you all in the next public teaching.